Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. If you guys are enjoying the daily crypto news, make sure you support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. It really does help out. And as I asked earlier today, the question of today is, what's your favorite type of fruit and why? So the first article is by Jeffy Kahn, and it reads, "The next Bitcoin crash might be near." Of course, a very heavy title, very interesting as well, but I think it's one of the most asked questions right now within the community. Everybody wants to know exactly when another big drop or a big rise is going to occur, and he seems to have some of his own thoughts. Bitcoin has not done anything of consequence after the recent fake out. The price keeps trading close to the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, some we covered earlier in the video, the previous video of today. This is a time where we need to see some sideways movement similar to last time. The only difference is that previously it was around the 200 EMA, and this needs to culminate in a major decline in the near future. If that does not happen and the price instead shoots past the 200 moving average to print a series of higher lows, then I would have to change my mind. However, so far, the probability of that happening is very low as Bitcoin remains in a strong downtrend. It is very important to wait for confirmation. A lot of traders have been wondering what that really means. And well, it means different things for different traders because it all depends on your strategy. It could be a confirmation on an indicator, a certain formation on the chart, different SNR levels, etc., or even a mix of all of those. And the point is, whatever strategy you are trading with, you have to wait for confirmation for the price to fit that strategy before it is tradable. Sometimes the price might make a big move to the upside or the downside, but it is not tradable because the move is abrupt and not part of your strategy. As always, it helps to remember the good old Rothschild 80-20 rule and how you only need to trade the middle, not the beginning and the end of a move. So a quick little note on that. What the Rothschild's rule really is you follow along with the move. So you're not trying to be finding that shift the other way around, right? You're not trying to find the highest point, you're not trying to find the lowest point. You're just trying to enjoy all the middle parts of it. Why? Because buying the dip is extremely difficult and selling the top is just the same, extremely difficult, and you don't want to bother yourself with it because there's too much of a risk involved. Recent outlook on the S&P indicates that we might see a major decline next week onwards. This would certainly put a lot of pressure on all major financial markets, which in my opinion are all waiting for the same decision. And by the way, guys, right now we're talking about some more traditional finance stuff, not necessarily crypto. And for all this type of news, you should check out my second channel called Dusty Finance. A link will be in the description below, but you can also just type it in on the YouTube's Dusty Finance and make sure you subscribe to that channel because there's no advertisements on there, literally zero. And I think there's a couple of really cool videos on there, so I recommend you all to subscribe. And if we look at crude oil and the recent volatility in Bitcoin, it is also correlated. The same goes for the correlation between the S&P 500 E-mini futures and the price of silver. The point is, many of these markets are interlinked and waiting for that decisive break to the downside, which in my opinion would come down to the next big move in the stock market. As for cryptocurrency, we now have a far bigger bear flag than the one before, which means this could end a lot worse compared to every previous crash. Or actually the previous crash, but it's kind of like every. Cardano BAT joined the price bandwagon as waves decide to wave off. How ironic, right? Well, Cardano and the BAT token or the basic attention token BAT, kept pace with the collective digital assets market as the industry embarked on yet another minor bullish rally. On the contrary, waves failed to register any significant change on the charts and continued its downside movement. That sideways movement, guys, by the way, sorry, what I'm just saying. The point here is that they made a little bit of a pun, and I really got caught off guard with that. That's why I decided to really include it. But I'm kind of wondering, do you guys want to hear about Cardano? Do you guys want to hear about BAT? Do you guys want to hear about waves? Or do you guys not like these cryptocurrency at all, right? Because I don't really think I've done a video about any of these coins on the channel in a little while. So I'm just kind of having to check, see if I should be updating you guys on it or not. And let me know in the comment section and you'll hear more about the coins if you want it. Mike Novogratz might just give up on Bitcoin if it doesn't double within 6 months. Mike Novogratz has been a big bull on Bitcoin for a long time. He's put up quite a lot of predictions out there for Bitcoin as well. And I think his open prediction was also, I don't actually remember exactly what his prediction was on Bitcoin. Maybe it was 20,000 end of the year. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something close to that. But yeah, he's always been up and down with Bitcoin, really talking about it a lot, and most of the time being bullish. Here he also does state that Bitcoin needs to double within 6 months or he might be out. This is the year for Bitcoin, says Novogratz, and if it doesn't go up now, I might just hang my spurs, which is definitely quite a interesting statement to make. Basically, again, stating that it's all or nothing in the crypto space right now. Either we go crazy or go home. The question that popped up though was, is it really possible for Bitcoin to double within 6 months? You guys know my opinion on that one. Of course it is possible to double up in 6 months. And Bitcoin Macro says cash is trash. 21 million Bitcoin, 8 billion people, infinite money printing, trillions of debt. Do the math. Well, yeah, you can do the math. It's always going to be possible, guys. We all know it. Last time the big bull run came around, it did the craziest percentages in the shortest amount of time. So doubling in 6 months is an easy trait. It's an easy thing. It just needs the normal traditional stocks to level out or go up for it to happen. XRP 2020. Apparently something big is happening tonight at midnight. And even though you guys know that I'm not up for all these riddles and BS and difficult to understand type of theories that are far-fetched, but since a lot of you guys have commented, yes, I like the riddles, and yes, I want you to show me, and I definitely saw it like a lot. I didn't expect it. I thought people didn't like the riddles too much, but a lot of people said, yeah, I want to see it. I thought, you know what, whenever something big is on the pipeline according to them, I'm going to include it in some of the videos as well. So again, for all you that do not know, XRP community is really quite known for having its, I want to say ambiguous, but I want to say just crazy type of riddles. They're talking about the price, talking about some partnerships, developments, and whatnot. And those riddles are never really confirmed. They're just a riddle put up and you go figure it out. And there's just tons of people trying to figure them out and do different types of stuff with it. It's also tons of different riddlers who say different stuff and new riddles all the time. That's just a basic introduction. But now some conclusion has come. J9 Dalton says, a secret program is ready and has planned to launch April 3rd at 12 p.m. or I guess 12 a.m., 11:59 p.m. EST. Time to lock in. All right. Follow the 17 says, the above is an add-on screenshot. The original time zone of the post, EST, lands exactly at midnight tonight, the dawning of the 4th. Because this was this was the 2nd of April, posted. I don't really know why this clarification needed to come up here, because, I mean, if he says April 3rd, 12 p.m. EST, then that means, the beginning of 4th of April, right? So what is this one for? The original time zone of the post, EST, lands exactly at midnight tonight, the dawning of the 4th. Of course, or wait, maybe there's a next one. E says, I told you well in advance. All right. This one is what he's talking about, I'm assuming. It's just the wrong order. This one is, I told you well in advance, eyes open. I, the spy, says, 301 days, 7 hours, 30 minutes. Timing is everything. Remember this one, patriots. And then I think the reply to that is, the above is an announced screenshot. The original time zone of the post, EST, lands exactly at midnight tonight, the dawning of the 4th, and thus, some might be coming up. I have no idea what it could be. I personally don't like this type of stuff, don't believe it at all, and most likely it will not be anything big, but if it was, then I guess we should praise XRP 2020 because he was right. Or J9 Dalton or the other guy. But I just thought, you know what, let me show it for the sake of if something crazy were to happen. Mike Hanna posted on Twitter, we know it will be XRP. It is United Nations proposes new global currency by CBS News. Peter Vass says, this is a 11-year-old article, but the agenda was in motion back then. And basically one of the interesting parts about this whole scenario is that a global currency has been in the works for a very long time, right? And I told you guys as well how the currency of the world reserve works, and it changes about every 95 years or so. Right now, the US dollar has been there for a very, very, very long time. Maybe it's 85 years or so, I think, since 1920, around that time, right then and there. Maybe a little bit later, maybe it was 1925. That's why I'm not too sure if it's already 95 years or maybe it's 80 some years or maybe already 100 years. You could just check it up in one of my previous videos. I don't remember the exact dates, but there's so many calls for a new global currency, a new digital currency, a new I guess unbiased online type of deal, and there's so many so many different ideas, so many different proposals, so many different standpoints on it that we all know it's going to be very difficult to conclude to something, and we all know there's a ton of different coins that could be very good for it. So there is the stable coin that could be good for it. There's a gold-backed coin which could be relatively good for it. There's also a completely new type of system that they could be going for. There's some that's built upon the US dollar, which could be good. And that's why it's so difficult to conclude, because what would the global currency be based upon, right? Where would it derive its value from? Is it just going to be the real literal demand and supply, but then how many coins should there be, and who should get what coin and how does it get decided? And that's why cryptocurrency in that essence are so extremely interesting, because the mechanism is already in place and there's no central authority like the US government in theory, or like the UAE or Germany, who can decide like, yo, you know what, we're printing some more. No ECB either, and you guys hopefully get it there. That's why a global currency in the form of a cryptocurrency is definitely an interesting proposal, and why that would most likely work a lot better than a pact from different countries, because you would always still have those, the people holding those different, like the dollar and the euro and whatnot, and for them to switch over completely instantly is very difficult. But by going to a cryptocurrency, you also have an adoption type of phase, which is also amazing. And then the bearable bull, I can't believe 18 cents is the true price of XRP. 1. Coin market cap true price liquidity metric. 2. Binance purchases coin market cap. 3. Binance and Ripple XRP strong ties. Well, I think Binance more has strong ties to BNB, of course, because it's their coin, and Tron TRX, as CZ and Justin Sun are really relatively close. Something is up. I love where this is going. We are lucky to be able to buy. It's this cheap. Stop complaining. And I don't really see this as anything of value at all for XRP. I see it more as a thing for value of TRX. But I guess we'll be seeing more about that once it rolls out. CoinMarketCap has confirmed, and I don't use CoinMarketCap, but they have confirmed that even though Binance has bought them, they will still be acting as their own entity, and thus you will not see anything really change. And I'm also expecting that to be the case. But whatever, if we do see some change, it will most likely not be that spectacular for XRP, just being realistic. But let's hope and let's see. Hopefully you guys are liking the more realistic approach to things, guys. I want to give you guys the full hopium experience, because that's, I think, the most fun. But I just don't want anybody to lose money or make some poor investment decisions because of some guy on the internet telling you things that might not happen. So that's why I like to keep all these videos with my own real opinion and just give it to you guys straight as to how I think. But yeah, if you guys don't appreciate that, let me know. If you do, let me know as well. Make sure you press the like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.